Yeah, do you see me? It says I'm live. I'm live, right? Can you see my screen? All right, cool. All right, sweet. Um, do I go to YouTube or I see all the chat in here? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, cool. I'll see you. All right, bye. What up, guys? This is the first YouTubey or official YouTubey, so give me some. You guys could write. I see David Rhodes. Yeet. Still getting the handle on this, but I'm gonna be doing this every Monday and Friday. Basically to give a little back to the community, engage with you guys, and help you guys learn a little bit. You guys see my screen? Dave, if you could confirm that you see the screen, if you don't mind, bro. Nice, getting some heads. Mike, what's up, bro? This is Streamlabs, guys. So this is streaming to YouTube, and I guess you guys can see. Sweet. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. Unfortunately, today was a little slower. Only real two stocks were RBZ and RHE. RHE was a tough locate. You have to be pretty aggressive earlier on to get it, in my opinion. So we're going to get into that in RBZ. Go over the week as well, a couple of the movers on the week. And for anybody that's in here, if you're in Iconic, can you just type Iconic, and if you're not, just say no. Just so I can see like who's what kind of audience we're getting. Sweet. Nice, guys. Appreciate a lot of the people from the community. And I appreciate Mike posting that in chat. So this is going to be a little bit of a first test trial, guys, and then as we progress, these will get better and better. But basically, I want to show you guys some of the stocks that we look for, what we really do at Iconic, and go over a couple of things that we started doing. So our model is all based off of disruption, guys, and we want to provide a valuable service that can be accessible to most people in the world, regardless of price. So everyone knows we're super affordable. You can get into our chat for $100 for life. And if you want to invest in yourself and your education, then the training and education is there for you to purchase. We don't shove it down anyone's throats. We don't, constantly berate you with upsells. We're here to provide a system that, in my opinion, is relatively simple compared to what's out there and relatively affordable. And that's the goal of Iconic Traders. Not only to live an iconic life, but to help others in an iconic fashion. You know, us making less money, cheaper for you, and just a service that, you know, we have close to 2,000 people in the chat room where everyone can come and learn a little bit. So, Evan, what up, dude? See, Evan helps out with our social media and in chat here as well. So every day, like, I come to the market, guys, and I'm looking for a setup that is within our niche. I don't personally trade large cap. I don't trade certain setups that you may see a lot of people trade. I personally like to stay with these small caps, which is typically anything under 200 million market cap. Anything that's above 200 million, I'm most likely avoiding. So the past couple of days, you know, between yesterday and today, the only real movers, in my opinion, that were, you know, good trades are stocks like MTP, which was from Wednesday, and ARCI, which was yesterday, that are both very similar setups. NanoFloat, you know, anything under 3 million shares float to me is a NanoFloat, especially under a million. ARCI, we can talk about this one first. Yesterday was your quintessential. What's been happening lately is people are coming in and buying up the floats on these stocks, guys. It's really not anything new. I guess people aren't really talking about it as much as they should because it's been happening every week. You have someone that probably has, you know, a $5 or $10 million account plus, and if a stock has like ARCI, let's just say it had 1 million shares yesterday outstanding and the stock's trading at like $6, you only need $6 million to buy all of those shares. And you artificially create a short squeeze to squeeze out shorts and push the stock higher. At what point whoever's buying shares uses that liquidity to exit his long. Without the short squeeze, there's really no way for him to exit because he's using that volume to sell his shares to shorts that are covering. So that's what happened with ARCI, and that's what happened with MTP. Now, I say this, you know, there's obviously other variables for you to consider. Are the filings dirty? Are there enough shorts available to create a short squeeze? Without available shorts, then there is going to be not enough shorts there to facilitate a squeeze. So you want to keep gauges on these variables, but are they make or break situations? No. Like, just because the stock is a 2 million float and just because the stock float rotated and has shares out there to borrow, does that automatically mean it's a long? No. You know, does it mean it's a short? No, there's a bunch of variables that you need to consider. However, it all comes down to the chart. And that's what we preach at Iconic Traders is like, I'm not here to look at filings for 5 hours, like try and be this scientifically sophisticated dude that has all these scenarios painted out. I just want to look at the chart. Is there resistance? Is there support? It's all about if-then scenarios for me. If this happens, then I do this. If that happens, then I do that. Yeah, it's you guys. It's not showing. Can you guys see my TC2000? Because I don't see what you guys. Let me see. Or you just see me. Again, I'm just getting used to this software, guys, so give me a second here. All right, cool. Rob, I can't move it to another screen because this is the error that we talked about. It's not picking up my other monitors. So I had to move everything to the only monitor it's picking up. So we'll fix that later, but for the time being, let's just keep doing what we're doing. But can you guys see TC2000? Just so I know I'm not. All right, cool. So for me, trading is if-then based. If this happens, I do this, and if that happens, I do that. So on MTP, this is a former runner that if you just allow the chart to dictate where your key levels are, $4 is huge. You have both 200-day moving averages above it, and you have a clear line of resistance. So $4 on MTP is realistic resistance. And this thing was just at $2. Now, as a short seller, I typically only short stocks that are up at least 50 to 70% plus. Why? Then I know realistically there could be a 10 to 20% plus pullback. So if a stock's up 20%, like that's not an A plus short to me. If a stock's up 30%, that's not an A plus short to me. And everyone has their setups, guys. But for me, 50 to 70% higher. If it's up 100% plus, A plus short. You can realistically see 10, 20, 30, 40% pullback. So MTP being at $2 basically ran to 4. That's up 100%. That's a good short. So at the open, the question is, are you basically trying to predict where this is going to go, or are you reacting to levels that have already formed on the chart? So we preach at Iconic, whole numbers are very important, $3, $4. What else is important? The $half level. The 50-cent level between whole numbers is almost just as important as the whole number. So you can use that on each time frame. How's the 50-cent level reacting? How's the whole number level reacting? MTP, it held $3, tested 350. This is your F1 over 350, which is your ascending triangle breakout. However, you know that there's resistance at 4. Why? Because that is your trade context on the daily chart, your big picture, your thesis of the trade. So it's either going to break through 4 and you get the over-under short, 415 to 450, or it fails the 4 test and reverses. If-then scenarios, guys, of which you want to see it back under 350. Why? 350 was initial resistance and then became support. You want to see that become resistance, dictating and validating a trend reversal. So once it broke over 350, attempted to get to 4, and then broke back below 350, all longs that bought over 350 are now underwater. This is going back to what I elaborate on in mentor class, math psychology, and human behavior. If-then trading, I'm not trying to predict. I'm just reacting to what the chart tells me. And this faded, just got annihilated. There was no reason for this to be up besides it being, most likely a pump and some float rotation. So the filings, like all this shit doesn't matter unless you can read a chart, guys. And if you can't execute trades, I don't care if you can read filings day and night. It doesn't matter. It's all about price action. Filings really just add to conviction, but they don't tell you when. That's what technicals are for. Fundamentals tell you what. Technicals tell you when. So technicals will always precede fundamentals for me. So a very simple situation in ARCI, where on the daily chart on this, they reverse split and tried to pump this. And in chat yesterday, key levels were 850, 9, 950, and 10. And that's what we wrote out in chat. Why? That was the levels dictated by the daily chart. I'm not just making those levels up. The chart gave me those levels. So the question is, the stock either, and this is a movie from yesterday, but it either holds, and I can't go back to the pre-market action, unfortunately, from yesterday in TC 2000, but it's either holding 7, breaks above this 850 level, which was an F1, breaks above 9, and then completely reverses once it taps 950. So if $9 was your initial resistance, then quickly became support, and broke back below that, you can use 9 as your resistance, just off of human behavior. Everyone that bought over 9 is underwater and gets a little bit shook. Now, once this got back below 8, then you really have some overhead, because that means you have a ton of baggies that longs their breakout over 850, at 9, and now this thing basically halted on this $8 drop. Now, were the filings dirty on this name? Yes, but this thing still could have went to 15 before it reversed. So this is where you need to understand the difference between predicting and reacting. And this is using multiple time frames, guys. I get this question almost every day, like, what time frame do you use? As if there's a definitive answer or an indicator that is the saving grace. I use every time frame: 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 30, hourly, 2 hour. Why? That gives me a trade context. Using just a 1 minute, you can't just use that. You need to look at the daily chart. Sometimes you need to use what I call a top-down approach. I look at the daily chart, then I look at the 2 hour, then I look at the hourly, then the 30 minute, then the 15, then the 5. This allows me to see the big picture, guys. Without the big picture, you're fucked. You have no context. Think of a high school essay. This is the thesis of my essay, which is then broken down into paragraphs. Each paragraph has its own topic or subject. That's multiple time frames, guys. It's not rocket science. And not enough people talk about that either. So once you had all of that overhead on ARCI, because what happens as a newbie is you can see float rotation, right? Does that mean it's a guaranteed long? No. Because that's, as a newbie, the first thing you think is it will just keep squeezing shorts. But if you have dirty filings and you have not enough shorts or available shorts to fuel the squeeze even longer, then just from an engineering standpoint, the stock will not hold its gains. You need buyers to hold the stock up. And sometimes those buyers are shorts covering. So if those aren't around to allow the trade to continue even higher, then you have to expect that if the trade reverses and the chart dictates and validates a reversal, that's how you play it, guys. No holding and hoping. No saying, oh, but, the filings have this or the company has this. It's just reading the chart and levels. 859, 950. Did not get through 950, broke below 9. 9 to 950 is your new resistance. Got below 850. 850 is your new resistance. This is using key levels and just thinking about what position buyers and sellers are in. So this is what we preach, and what I preach every day at Iconic Guys is keeping trading simple. You go on social media, there's plenty of people sharing strategies, but I can guarantee you that a lot of it's too much noise. You got to keep it simple. As I said today in chat, this shit is chess, not checkers. Excuse me. Fuck that one up. This is checkers, not chess. People want to get all creative and sophisticated with trading, and they say that doctors and lawyers are the worst types of traders because they overanalyze and overthink, also known as paralysis from overanalysis. So today, unfortunately, I did not make any trades because I didn't really see any A+ setups. Like RBZ basically was trading at, I'm just going to say $6. So a 50% move would be 9. And 60 to 70% move would be 10. That's an A+ short for me. So in RBZ, I drew this line in chat. Like, I was looking for a retest of 840 to 850. It never got to my levels, so I did not force the short. I would have liked to get in 830 to 850, risking 9, risk 50 cents to make at least $1.50. So if you got an 840, risking 50 cents to make a move back to 7. Now, could you have been more aggressive? Of course. Some people took the trade and unfortunately never got above 8 unless you tackled it pre-market. So to me, this wasn't an A-plus short. Could you have made 10% on this? Yes. But it was not an A-plus short. And then the only other one was RHE, which was a tough locate. Now, the lower the float, the harder the locate. It's supply and demand. If there's only 1 million shares out there, guys, realistically, and there are some shady brokers out there that somehow have endless locates on these low floats, which is what sometimes creates the squeeze and these crazy, 100, 200, 300% rips. But RHE was not one of those. And it popped on no news, and I think it was a pump from what some people were saying in chat. Rooms belonging this on no news, but let's look at multiple time frames. The 30-minute over here shows that 320 to 360 was huge resistance. It never got perfectly to 320. It tapped 318. So, but this was a good example of the over under 3. This was just at 150. It ran to 3. That's a 100% move. That's an A-plus short. And this is the over under strategy where you look for the stock to pop above the whole number. You give it usually anywhere between 15 and 30 cents of wiggle room, before that 50-cent level to get in short. And you look for a washout back below the whole number. And this was an example of that. And an A-plus setup. It's up 100%. You can easily see a 10 to 20 to 30% pullback. This pulled back 30%. This is now back to 2. So just good examples, guys, of what we look for on a daily basis. And there was really nothing else to trade. So every day you come to the market, you should not be looking and saying, what am I going to nail today? The question is, are there opportunities presenting themselves today? And if not, you just don't fucking trade, guys. I know too many people that they trade every day, and that's not proper trading. For those of you that have read the book Turtle Traders, these dudes weren't trading 70% of the time and still made bank. So good mindset behind the casino analogy in trading, where it's the longer you're in the casino, the less probability you have of winning. The same applies to trading, in my opinion. So any questions about this stuff, guys? Just some insight into what we've been looking for lately and our mindset behind some of these trades. Appreciate it, Evan. So for those of you that are not part of the community, we're starting a new program, which is called our incentive program, where we're just going to every month basically give out free gear to whoever offers the most valuable content, sharing ideas in chat. So the gear includes a dope hoodie, t-shirt, iPhone case, and potentially some hardware. Now and then we'll do like a monitor or a mouse or keyboard, stuff like that. But if you go into our chat room, the rules will be updated there. And the official announcement is next week, but I'm giving you guys a little early intro. I have the gear, great quality, cool stuff. And eventually, if you go on above and beyond our expectations, we're looking to hire some more traders. So our way of giving back to the community. And because the truth is that a lot of chat rooms provide education, but it's one dude. And we want to create a community where it's a bunch of people helping each other. And if we can do that by incentivizing you guys to do that, we have no problem doing that as well. Guys, if you follow me on Instagram at TradeLikeMike, and if you're interested in joining, then DM me and I'll send you the link. I don't even know if I'm signed into chat. Damn, Todd, it's like that, huh? I'm trying to see how I can type the chat link. Rob, if you're in here, can you send... I'm still learning how to use this, guys, this software, so... Jose, it's basically... It all depends on your risk tolerance, dude. The rule of thumb is 1 to 3%. I don't know why I can't... Yeah, so where it says say something, Rob, I can't sign in. It just keeps like refreshing the sign in. We'll talk after this. We're going to get this all fixed and perfect for you guys. But today was a good tester. Yeah, I'm probably not signed into YouTube. I'm signed into the Iconic Traders YouTube. Todd, do you have Twitter? I'm thinking about where I got to start putting these links. That's the old one. Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing. Yes.
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one.
YouTube.
Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Yes.
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one.
YouTube.
Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Those of you that don't...
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one.
YouTube.
Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Those of you that don't...
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one.
YouTube.
Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Those of you that don't...
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one. Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Those of you that don't...
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one. Oh, nice. I can see what you guys are seeing.
Those of you that don't...
LXGTD.
I'm just going to write this shit in here from...
That's the old one.
It sounded like a remix. Now it's good. Todd, that's good. Banned from Twitter. Now Instagram's your only other option, bro. Yeah, there's also a lag on this software, so if I go full retard sometimes, guys, that's why. So, any questions or anything, guys? I'm going to talk to Rob after this about perfecting this. But this is basically what I'm going to be doing every Monday and Friday. And every week I'll have different topics. Today was just the intro, but I'll have a theme each day. Unfortunately, the past couple of days have been slow. There's nothing wrong with that. It is wrong if you overtrade when nothing is there. I'm not going to be going over everything, guys, because that is what I prioritize for our mentor students. But every day I'll have a different theme. But don't expect to get all the gems here because it's free, and not everything in life is free. All right, guys. So hope everyone has a great day. Appreciate you all showing up every Monday and Friday. I'll be doing this. Rob, I'm calling you now after this. Nikhil, join chat, and we'll talk about Flow Buddy. Plenty of gems dropped in there. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. God bless. And I'll see everybody on Monday.